Members of the jury, your duty today will be to determine whether the defendant, Beck Martin, is guilty or not, based on facts and evidence provided in this case. The prosecution has the burden of proving the guilt of the defendant beyond a reasonable doubt. This burden remains on the prosecution throughout the trial. The prosecution must prove that a crime was committed and that the defendant is the person who committed the crime. However, if you are not satisfied of the defendant's guilt to that extent, then reasonable doubt exists, and the defendant must be found not guilty. Do you understand? Now, for many of you, do not know the details of the case, so I will inform you of some of the mitigating circumstances surrounding the trial. This case is set in the coastal town of Driftwood City, Oregon. It is a community that is proud of its high school. Its graduates are well known for going to prestigious colleges and universities throughout the United States. Competition at the school is tough. Some now wonder whether it is though that it is sent possibly one of the youngsters at the school, a star, an academic excellent student, tragically to an early grave. What follows are the details of the case. Driftwood City High School is located on the coast. At the school, honor students vigorously compete with each other, hoping to gain entry into the nation's top colleges. Every year, the English department creates a final exam for all its honor and literature students. The department administers the exam both as a grade in honors English literature and to determine the recipients of 3 Distinguished Writers Foundation scholarships to college. They're referred to as the DWF. The DWF is established by graduates of Driftwood High School to promote the school and the study of literature. The scholarship recipients are announced at graduation. The exam was given on May 30th, 2 weeks before graduation. In recent years, there have been problems at Driftwood City High School with cheating. To crack down on cheaters, the administration instituted an honor system in which students are required to report the incidents of cheating. Those who know about cheaters and who fail to report them are treated the same as the cheaters themselves. For a first offense, the offender gets a 1-day suspension and a failing grade on the assignment in question. A second offense results in an F in the class and a permanent demerit in the student's school record. This rule is rigorously enforced and allows for no exceptions. In this case, Beck Martin and Cody Ward have been caught cheating. Both were first-time offenders. In the spring, Beck and Cody and Ann Marcus were seniors at Driftwood. They had known each other for years, from participating together in academic programs, and all 3 had been on the honor roll. Ann was a tall 17-year-old girl and an avid rock climber, known to climb regularly at Ballina Beach. Beck and Cody were both of slight build and were slightly taller than Ann, and were athletes. Beck was a rower and captain of the school's crew team. Cody ran cross country on the track team. All 3 were in Larry Molina's honors English literature class, and each had been accepted to a top-ranked university in the fall. They took the test on May 30th as scheduled. From this point forward, I'll turn the remaining part of the case over to the prosecution and the defense to inform you of all witness testimony and details revolving around this case, as well as the charges to be brought forth against Beck Martin. Do you understand? Prosecution, are you ready?
Yes.
Defense, are you ready?
Yes.
Prosecution, you may go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Chris Rios, and I will be doing the opening statement for the prosecution side. Now, being part of the prosecution, I know the defense will try to prove and should show that Beck Martin is not guilty of the crime. They will do this by, he will be telling a story and trying to sound innocent. Now, law does not work like this. As many of you may have seen before, there is something called Lady Justice. She is a statue, and if you notice, she's wearing a balance. She is carrying a balance in one hand, and her eyes are blinded. The reason for this is because Justice does not see Beck as a Justice is seen only as the law. Now, to start off the story, as you guys all heard, it's the English exam. So one day, this all started by that English exam, and Cody, to give you some background, Beck Martin really wanted to get a really good grade on this exam so that he would be able to enter Empire University, which was his dream university to attend to. So he decided that he didn't think he was going to do very well. So he went to his teacher's office, Mr. Molinas, and he decides that he is going to take a key of the exam, and he does so. He actually makes a copy of that key, puts the original key back inside of the cabinet, and takes the exam and makes another copy for his friend Cody Ward. Doing this, of course, they ace the exam. They study the key and they ace their exam. After doing this, in early May, they had stolen it. In June and May 30th, they took their exam, and then around early June, Beck takes the key and gives it to Cody in the hallway and tells him, get rid of the exam. So while this was going on, Ann Marcus actually comes, takes the exam, and knows exactly what's going on. And it's her duty as a good student to turn them in. But she actually gives them the opportunity to turn themselves in. And it's a Friday, and she says by Monday, if you guys don't turn yourselves in by Monday, I will turn you guys in, because it's her duty as a good student. So she decides to take the exam, puts it inside of her backpack, and takes her backpack and puts it inside of her locker and locks it. Doing this, now, Beck doesn't know what to do. He's gonna get caught. He's not. It's gonna be his. It would be his first offense in cheating, and he would be suspended. Now, Beck actually tries to get a hold of her over the weekend. She doesn't answer. He tries different ways, trying to communicate with her. He doesn't want to answer, and she doesn't answer him. So he's nervous. He doesn't know what to do. So what he does, he actually calls his friend up, Cody Ward. Cody Ward actually answers him, and he says that he feels like they should go find him. Cody Ward believes that it is pointless to actually go do so because he knows that Anne is actually a very stubborn girl, and she's not going to want to go back on what she said. But Cody does agree that he will drive Beck and himself over to Belena Beach. The reason that they go to Belena Beach is because they know that Ann Marcus likes to rock climb, and she likes to rock climb actually the cliff there at the cove. So when they arrive there, they walk along the ridge, and she is still climbing. So once she is done climbing, they actually meet her on the ridge, and right away, Beck sees her and starts arguing with her and grabs her by the collar. He does this very angrily, and she wails, and she's waving her arms very frantically, trying to keep her balance. Now Beck then notices what he's doing, and he lets go of her. And they keep arguing now, and it's getting a little dark, and he decides, let's go finish discussing by the cove. She doesn't say a word, she just looks at him. She decides, all right, fine. She doesn't say a word though, but she does go along and walk with him down the cove. And they walk down to the cove, and they start arguing. Now, once they are arguing, it gets to a point where Beck is fed up. He can't take it anymore. He doesn't know what to do. He's going to get caught for cheating. He's not going to be able to get the scholarship, and he's not going to be able to go to the Empire University, the university he wants to go to. So what he does, he takes a rock and he hits Anne over the head, unconscious. Now picture that. He takes a rock and hits her over the head, angrily, out of anger, because he doesn't know what to do anymore. An innocent girl is now knocked unconscious on the floor. An innocent girl that was just trying to do her job as a student. In my eyes, that's not right. And we're here to prove that. And the way we're going to prove that is actually, we are going to be questioning 3 witnesses. Our first witness is Officer Kripke. Officer Kripke was the first person at the scene of the crime. He examined the body, and he also is actually the one, and he was also the only officer at the crime scene, and he knows the students pretty well because he is the officer for Driftwood High School, which is a high school they attend. So he knows the students pretty well, he knows their problems, and he also questions them the day after, and he's the one that questions Beck and Cody. So he knows exactly what they answered and whatnot. Our second now witness for the prosecution is Dr. Aiden Hobbs. He's an expert witness. An expert witness is basically somebody that is a professional in what they do, and there is absolutely no bias in what he says. So Aiden Hobbs is actually going to be talking about the ligature marks found on her arms, as well as the laceration on her head. Our third and final witness is Cody Ward. Cody Ward is Beck's best friend, and he's willing to testify against him. Just think about that. Having your best friend testify against you. Do you really think that's a lie? I don't think so. So, we are here today to prove to you guys that Beck Martin is guilty of voluntary manslaughter. Voluntary manslaughter is the unlawful killing of a human being due to a heat of passion, of anger. Thank you.